welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And I'm Carter Glasscock.
And today we are so pleased to be joined by our friend, comedian, the grand poobah of the fantastic comedy in English show twice a week, goddamn, in Santa Monica, our friend.
Say your name.
Michael Magid, everybody.
Michael Magid, how's it
He
going?
never tells anyone that.
He never explains.
I was like, straight up, I was like, say your name. He's like, dude, these people don't know my name. Like, honestly, they just had like in their phone, they're like random comedian who runs international comedy show. Can he come on the podcast on Wednesday?
I want to just start talking about that show because it's one of the most unique performance opportunities that you have in LA, to be in a room where it's like, all right, do comedy, and by the way, half the room is Norwegian. Go! And you just have to figure it the fuck out because it's at an international youth hostel. So it's always fun to be like, okay, they're not going to know why this joke about Walmart is funny necessarily. So you have to kind of like, just on the fly.
Would you say, Michael, that a lot of people are... Does it work better if you're like do a lot of act out kind of stuff or like get physical?
I say storytelling and crowd work is definitely the way to go.
And
farts.
Farts too.
Well,
To
absolutely.
make a lot of fart
those are
noises.
universal.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone loves that.
Much like children. Just think you're performing to children. Actually, the thing is actually, if you think about it, despite the fact that there might be a language barrier, these people are probably 3 times more intelligent than your average American.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I work as a tour guide myself, so I've definitely noticed talking to people, it's like, oh yeah, English is my 4th language, and they're just, they're killing it. Unbelievable.
It's fantastic. So on Saturday we did this little after party thing at this bar down the street, and I would shout it out, but I don't think there's like a promo code on this podcast. I don't want to give them a free plug.
Might as well.
All right, the Craftsman. It's really solid, guys.
Plug it if you like it.
Check it out. It's really nice. But anyway,
I say it sucks.
Now pay us.
I've never been there.
Sam's actually starting he's going to run a spite bar next door.
Yeah, there we go.
Just for that, because he's never been invited to the Craftsman.
Yeah, called Craftsman Sucks.
Sam spit spite bars all the time in his rapping career.
Ooh.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I got to check that out on SoundCloud. I know that's really solid. No, but the thing is, I was talking to this person from Denmark there, and I was like, oh, so did you go to an international school? And she's like, no, I went to regular public school. And I'm like, your English is better than mine.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like her 4th language. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I just went to regular school. I didn't do anything special.
Yeah.
How dumb are you guys? But she was like, we started learning English when we were like 4.
Right.
And just immersed in it. And like, I mean, obviously there's a very, American centric when it comes from culturally, from a pop culture standpoint around the world. Mm-hmm. So they are immersed in English language stuff from an early age.
Right.
I mean, I know one Danish comedian, and that's because he's performed at the hostel. Like,
sure.
Right. So I'm not immersed in Danish culture.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also just embarrassing how fucking stupid Americans are.
Yeah.
I blame the ocean that separates us from every other part of the world. That's why we're idiots.
Yeah, I blame.
Is that a conspiracy theory? Is that?
I just came up with it right now.
That's going on Reddit boards right now. They're like, it's actually there's some sort of chemical in the Atlantic Ocean that keeps Americans stupid.
Well, the thing is,
it's a Diet Coke.
I think it's more to do with being the last standing superpower after World War II and having a tremendous amount of natural resources.
The beautiful part is we have plenty of other people who speak plenty of other languages here, and we're all just like English only. And sometimes Spanish, but not really.
Yeah.
You got to press 2 for that.
By the way, so for your audience out there who's listening to my voice, they're like, there's no way this guy speaks other languages. Spanish is my first language.
Really?
So there was a young man downstairs.
Prove it.
And I started speaking Spanish to him, and his head exploded.
Mm-hmm.
I
could see
trying to
that.
help the guy, and like his
could
head
see that.
exploded. He's like, "Oh, this is not what I thought was going to happen here at all." It's a good thing I didn't say anything. So
it was your first. It was your first language too, so it's not like. I mean, you were.
Yeah. So like my mom's Venezuelan. I was born in Venezuela. Yeah.
Oh, that's
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I guess I identify as Latinx, but in the eyes of Hollywood, I am a straight white male. So not changing anything, guys. Not changing anything.
You just fooled me.
Yeah.
It's like his name's Michael. His last name's probably Jones.
Well, so the funniest thing is actually about my last name is actually the actual pronunciation of my last name is Magid or Majid. They changed it, several generations ago on my father's side because, they were ashamed of their culture. I think that's how that worked out. I think that was the plan. I think throughout the United States is that they just wanted people to assimilate, and so they would the children would always say more white sounding, because they didn't want to. They didn't want to associate themselves as being immigrants or anything like that. So over generations, that just became the last name.
Yeah. And here we sit in Los Angeles, California, which is not how you say either of those
Los
words.
Feliz?
Yeah, Los Feliz.
It's Sepulveda.
I've told people before, I'm like, if you see a Spanish word on a sign in LA, look at it and try to pronounce it as wrong as possible, and that is actually the correct nomenclature.
Yeah.
For
By the
most
way,
part.
Austin's like that too.
Yeah.
Over at HI Santa Monica, the hostel in Santa Monica, there's a lot of people that come from South America or Spain or whatever.
Sure.
And their heads explode when Americans are giving directions to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're like, just like take a right over on Santa Monica. They're like, I know how to say that. You don't even know how to say that. And you've been living here.
Yeah.
I'm a tourist and I know how to pronounce your streets.
In Austin, there's a Guadalupe Street, and everybody calls it Guadalupe.
Guadalupe. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's like you have to go out of your way.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Guadalupe sounds delicious. I'd like to try some Guadalupe.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It's a stew.
Or a cereal.
There's also Manchaca Street in Austin. People just call it Manchac.
Jack.
Just take some letters out of it, even.
I had a friend who had there was a guy working on the house, and he referred to him as Guadalupe. And then by the end of the work being done, it was just Loopy. It's like, oh yeah, Loopy's out there. If you just ask him what kind of whatever.
How's your entire state not been canceled yet? I'm just very curious.
It was the Civil War.
How's it? Oh yeah, that's right.
Canceled pretty definitively until Rutherford B. Hayes
I think
administration.
it's kind of like celebrities too, is people have to care enough about them to be canceled. There's a certain level you're uncancelable just because no one's
like
thinking
MC
about
Hammer
you.
would love to be canceled
Oh, yeah,
at this point.
absolutely.
Yeah. Them ending Reconstruction was the same as giving Louis C.K. a Grammy. It was like, okay, you guys come back in. It's okay.
Now, at what point does like Birmingham just like levitate itself, kind of like the city in Sokovia, like in the Avengers?
Oh, it's
just like
it's already there.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Birmingham is. You just go. I mean, as this joke has been made many times online, but it is very true and very funny. It's Portland with minorities. It's like way too fucking cool for where it is now. And this is like a recent development. Like every time I go back,
Birmingham, Alabama?
every time I go back to Birmingham, it's like just very like cool now. There's just like
Oh, yeah,
it's
Birmingham's
just shit
been
to
cool,
do.
yeah.
It's but I mean, like we go to concerts there in high school, and I just remember it being like this like burned out shell, like Mad Max looking shit, and now you go there and it's brunches everywhere. Can't
Yeah.
stop with the brunch.
Yeah, they did a lot of the shit outside the downtown area around Avondale.
And
stuff.
my favorite thing about the brunch situation there, motherfuckers want to sit outside in Alabama. Like that makes sense here, where there's
Isn't
no
it, like,
humidity.
It's humid.
It's like disgusting.
Yeah,
I went
it's
you
there.
have like fireflies and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like fucking flying praying mantises and shit. Like it's a nightmare. And I went
Trying to eat eggs Benedict. I got attacked by a praying
by
mantis.
a swarm of locusts.
I will say though, like even like on like the cool new street in Avondale and Birmingham, there's still like there's a DIY venue that I swear to God has been there for like 20 years.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
not Saturn. Saturn rules,
Yeah.
but like there's this place called the Firehouse that has like existed. And my friend Matt owns it, and it's been up for. I mean, Birmingham has cool shit like that where like a DIY punk scene can exist for like decades.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Speaking of new and exciting, yesterday evening found me in the bougiest gas station, I believe, in the city of Los Angeles.
No way.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been Nerado, actually.
Did Erewhon start a gas station? Is that what's going on?
Kinda. It's somebody on Twitter asked, like, what do you consider like a good gas station? And I was trying to think about
Cheap.
it. Cheap. Well, yeah, sure.
Bathrooms that aren't locked.
Clean, easily accessible bathrooms is like chief among them. And then I started thinking about it, and I realized what I consider like kind of the top-notch gas station in the city is over on Santa Monica in Century City. It has a water feature. So when you come up, there's like a waterfall and water cascades down the side next to the entrance.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's I believe it's a 76. It's like right past Century City on Santa Monica. And you go inside and they have a huge wine selection. That's usually a tip-off that it's fancy.
That's true.
And they have a very clean bathroom, although they do have the Comedy Store black toilet, so you can do coke off the toilet, which is cool.
If you want to hang out at this gas station for all night.
So,
But
so it's
Booker's
also
gonna be
the
there.
gas station is
Yeah.
also haunted, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And I was trying to describe it to whoever made this. I'm pretty sure it was Rod on Twitter. I was like, oh, what I consider the best gas station is this. And then I thought about it. I was like, I bet they've got some weird energy drinks there, because that is also the hallmark of a good gas station is fucking energy drinks you have never heard of.
Products you've never seen anywhere else.
Yes, a full selection of like European candy bars like Lion and Violet Crumble and shit like that. They have it all.
How much cactus water did they have there?
Oh, they had cactus
I'm
water.
sure they
I
did,
saw
yeah.
that. So they had a lot
That's
of
a thing now.
Oh yeah, that's how
yeah.
I stay hydrated, Sam. You know that?
I thought it was coconut
Well,
water. I'm still on that.
you're on that 2015 shit, bro.
Coconut water.
Coconut
What are you
water.
wearing, Ed Hardy?
We're past that. But I did walk in, and boy, I fucking hit a gold mine of strange things. So I just kind of went with this one. So for our ungodly concoction for the day, this one is called
Super Cafe.
Yes, exactly.
Super
That's
caffeine.
exactly why I got it. It's called Ultra On. Which is what you want to be for a podcast. Everybody should be. We're gonna flip our switches, gentlemen.
For a second, I thought it was I thought it was a Hindi energy drink.
So the logo's
With the logo.
The logo is supposed to be the on button of a computer.
Yes, it's
right?
a power button. It's a power button.
I was walking down Santa Monica earlier today, and there was a sex store.
Uh-huh.
And in
Ooh,
right,
stop the podcast.
they have sex
Let's just
drinks?
Go there.
Oh yeah, and I dropped my kids off at the daycare, and then I kind of perused by the sex store, and then I saw there was a.
By the way, for people who are listening anywhere around the world, that's what they just assume Santa Monica is.
Sure, yeah.
right, just one giant sex store over the
Yeah.
street.
Uh-huh.
And
that's only a couple parts of it. So
Yeah,
that's not fair.
Yeah, that's not fair. You know, there's like a fat burger and stuff. Too.
Yeah.
But they had a model, a model, and they had the on sign for the computer on the nipples.
Ooh,
Which I was like, that's pretty clever. It's like turn me on, but in a modern way.
Were those like pasties? Could you purchase those?
Yeah, I think you can purchase a computer on buttons for your nips. And then, yeah, because normally when you walk into the bedroom and you have nipple clamps on, everyone's like, all right, Grandpa, why don't you get with it?
By the way, they couldn't think of something more clever than super caffeine.
Yeah. So on the side, all of these energy drinks, they have a ridiculous pablum on the side. So this one says 250 milligrams of super caffeine, one word. It has natural sweeteners, natural flavors, and then it has the atomic logo here, and it says
That's always safe.
it says
This one seems extra bad.
it says liposome technology powered by BioUp.
I've been low on those.
Bio
lately.
up.
That's the company that makes the liposome technology. And there is a warning on the back to consume responsibly, not recommended for people under 18, pregnant women, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit?
Last night I straight up had a caffeine-induced panic attack. So
Oh, really?
let's see if we can do a double.
What
yeah.
were you on?
boy.
What were you on? Wait,
Just
let's go to
cold
this
brew.
story. Yeah,
Starbucks cold, and it
cold
was
brew
like,
got you like?
it got me like up at 4:30 in the morning, being like, "I'm dying, I'm definitely dying, I'm dying," and I was like, "I'm suffocating," and then my girlfriend had to tell me to breathe. So I can't wait. I can't wait to have this do that shit.
Carter, you were alert. That's all that
That's
matters.
I was so alert.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was ready for the morning. You know what I mean?
You're ready for the Russian invasion.
Yeah, and then I slid back into the nightmare I was having before I woke up.
There's one very concerning piece of verbiage on this where it says caffeine from all sources.
Wait, from all sorts.
That's literally what it says.
That means tea. They got the powder.
Yeah,
they got the caffeine from coffee.
a little bit of math,
They got cocaine. They got all that good stuff.
Yeah. And
There's
it's
just a guy with a grinder. And just a bunch of Adderall, and he's just like grinding it, and he's like, "I'll put it in there." He's like, "It's caffeine, whatever, it'll be fine."
and this,
Energy powder.
and this is made, by the way, by Mimetic Technologies Incorporated, located in La Habra, California. So hey,
There's
right next to
Sounds legit.
right next to Brea.
Too much technology involved.
Well,
in this
anything
thing
next
we're
to
about
Brea
to
is
eat
legitimate.
or drink.
Yeah,
I don't want to put this much technology in my mouth and stomach. I don't.
I already
think.
have the Bill Gates microchips from the vaccine.
Yeah, this is made in a bathtub at the Brea Improv.
Or are we doing shots of this? So this is gonna be incredible.
Oh, we're gonna.
Oh, this is
all right. So everybody, hold. This is everyone's favorite part of the show. Please hold. Okay.
I had a
Super caffeine jumped out at me.
party foul.
Oh shit! Oh, call me Uncle Drippy.
What you didn't know is that this drink's actually sentient. It's actually a sentient beverage.
That would be
We all
a
just went,
first.
because Rivers pissed his pants.
Yeah. And by the way, this is wild berry, and I gotta make a confession, boys.
Smells good.
Smells good. Here we
I
go.
can smell it from here.
That's the super caffeine.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Yes.
I want to
this is
say
incredible.
that I had an Aftershock blue raspberry the other day, and it was delish.
Oh yeah.
What does it say about me that I can't wait to do this? I'm so excited.
It means you're one of the best guests we've had.
Absolutely is what that
Most of the
means.
guests are very confused by this part of the show, but you're in it. Well, you're a sportsman. We'll talk about that too. You know, you're
Don't say it that way. It sounds like I'm hunting. It sounds
no. Well, you're a man.
like I'm out there. It's like no, you're a sportsman. You know, you just
Cheers, everyone.
just slayed a rhino the other day.
All right, let's get
When
it.
Rivers
Sam, cheers.
spilled this, it smelled good, but now if you smell it, it smells like hard liquor. It smells fucked up.
Ooh, it's thick.
Oh, this
what the fuck?
this does not smell natural.
No, it's the technology.
Oh, dude, it's so thick. This is like
Oh my god!
Yeah, this is
It
Whoa.
is very thick.
Whoa!
bad.
What the hell?
It's like a milky fluid.
Whoa!
It tastes like
It's jizzier than a park bench.
definitely got the off-brand
boy.
Smarties flavor.
Oh, this is like
this is the Pornhub energy drink.
Okay.
yeah, this is double hazy IPA super
It is a
caffeine.
hazy energy drink, and I will say I can taste it says every kind of caffeine. I can taste all 46 kinds of caffeine right now.
Dude, the thickness is quite off-putting.
I'm not down with the thickness.
I will be straight up honest with you. This is the reason why you should drink this in the can. You don't need to see what it looks like.
no, God must never know. You can't
right.
drag this out to
Can you
light.
imagine if you just poured this out in front of somebody? They'd be like,
They would probably be like, "Don't drink that. There's something wrong with it."
Yeah.
Clearly,
no, there would be a guy that would come in like a biohazard suit and he would grab it like the beginning of The Simpsons where he just like grabs the plutonium rod. Like that's what
Yeah.
Then he hears the lunch whistle and he drops it and it spills all over your
Exactly. That's Rivers. That's Rivers.
That's
right
me
there.
right
That's
now.
right.
Yeah, I got natural sweeteners and super caffeine all over me, and I'm ready to talk.
Oh man.
Oh God, that is. I have to wash that
It's
down
heinous.
with Polar.
Yeah.
it's heinous.
Polar.
I'm gonna do the same.
Okay, you know the reason I say Polar is because that's what they call it in Venezuela, and it's a malt beverage.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
okay.
Polar.
I believe it's made by the same company.
Oh, okay.
They say Polar over there.
Well, why don't they
You know?
make one here? Those are
yeah,
very
yeah.
popular in America right now.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can find it at that gas station.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
if it's anywhere, I found a Thai
Or at the World
Fanta.
Market.
What?
Yeah, this-
Thai Fanta.
Yeah.
Versailles Mart.
I know. I got a confession to make. I drank that. I was gonna share it, and I was like, I'm kind of thirsty.
Tell us.
And it
Tell
was
us what it was like.
Secret of the Ooze green, like an unbelievable green, like
What was the flavor though?
peculiar.
So, well, I guess you couldn't read what it said on the.
well, yeah, exactly. It was in Thai, but I mean,
When do we grow tails from all this shit?
I mean, to paraphrase this, it had flavor from all sources.
Okay.
So it seemed to just
It's
be
flavor from don't fucking worry about it.
yeah.
So Rivers, is every guest who's been on the podcast now sterile? Is that?
Yeah. We come to think of it.
So
Yeah.
far, we've only made one person throw up. And that was our
I thought
first.
you were about to say we've only made one person have kids.
yeah.
You must spread your beautiful
Only
seed.
one person's been punished with that.
One person actually drank this and then their kids died.
Oh yeah.
Really
It's that
bad
po-
situation.
it's that potent, yeah.
It's a really bad situation.
This is the part of the show where we shit all over it and then we all just drink the rest of it.
It's hard because it's right in front of you for the next hour.
Yeah,
At some
yeah.
point, you're going to be slightly parched. And you're going to. That's the thing. With all these, at some point, you forget how bad it is. people like, oh, I could take a little, wet my whistle a little.
Yeah.
And you're
Sure.
like, no.
See, that's why I just chug them. I get them out of my way.
What is the aftertaste though? There's like a
It's
weird.
shitty.
It's a very awful
Thick-
aftertaste.
thick.
This
Let
does
me,
not taste like any
drink some
berry
more.
I've ever had.
It's like it's chalky.
Yeah.
It's you can really taste the powder.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's the liposome technology, Carter. you gotta respect the liposomes.
The liposome
There
technology.
was just a group of people in a lab with lab coats on who researching liposome technology.
yeah.
With goggles on and like little syringes. Yeah.
The cancer cure must wait. We must make this liposome technology.
We're gonna get the Nobel Prize of Brea for this.
How did you find a beverage that was made by Pfizer? I just want to know how.
Well, they've all got like these pseudoscience like things on the side of them that are just seemingly there to make you feel like you're smart for drinking it, and no one seemingly is asking like, what is liposome? Why is it good? What does you mean by it comes from all caffeine?
Well, speaking of Pfizer, I have a theory that in a lot of these energy drinks are the same stuff that's in like OTC boner pills.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because these things will have you doing rounds, my man. It's
Hell yeah.
crazy.
Hell yeah.
Drink a whole one of these, you'll be going off all night.
This is an image I'm not gotten out of my head now.
He's hit with like a towel around, like a boxer.
Finishing off an energy drink. Ready to go again.
Sorry, little buddy. Time to make a return trip to Pound Town.
Hell yeah, dude.
I am curious about with these energy drinks though, with like the words that you're talking about, right? Because like none of us have done any research on these words whatsoever.
And I want to say shout out to Dr. Andy Vandy, our chemist who listens to the show up there in New York. So tell us what the hell is a liposome, Andy Vandy.
Also, let us know, Andy, when they're making up a word, when they're just throwing
They're
something
always
out there.
They're always
Yeah.
making stuff up.
I could see
You hear
that.
liposome, and you're like, oh, I remember lysosome from fucking physical science, and then lipo, oh, that's like fat zome. Liposome, maybe it's a fat cutting cell
I
or
would
something.
assume it would be something like that. Yeah.
If you
I don't
thought
think
about it at all,
I was going to say.
if someone were to think about it, that might be the neural pathway.
You're
they take.
talking to somebody who, like, his freshman year was like, "I'm going to be a kinesiology major," and then like I was like, "This looks really hard. Fuck this. I'm doing communication."
Yeah, likewise.
I feel like most of these people, it probably is a lot of kinesiology majors turned communication majors that make all these energy drinks because it is
Yeah.
like that kind of like, your recovery will be unwielding. You're unyielding.
Liposome sounds better than whoop-off fuel.
I really think the majority of people go, liposome, cool, fuck it. I'll see what that is while it's in my body.
Yeah.
Much like the YouTube comments, I think most people who consume these don't read this. It's like, I like blue.
Do you realize I will read all of that, and like I consider myself reasonably intelligent. I will read all that stuff, and in an impulse buy, I'll be like, "Yeah, I buy all this. Sure, why not? Let's do this."
It says super caffeine.
I bought it at a Chevron on La Brea. It's gotta be good.
Hey,
You're right.
Hey, it was on Santa Monica, sir. I don't fuck with Hollywood energy drinks. Oh, Century City or better.
Okay, got it.
Between the three of us, we've read so many energy drink cans, we could become copywriters for these cans.
Oh, I'd be so good at
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Does it got to the point when you guys like see somebody like with like they're drinking like a C4, like a Bang, you're like hack?
No, those are my old standbys.
Bang is the hack, new, current, popular energy drink,
Yeah.
but some of the flavors are good.
One of our listeners said the whole lot of chocolate flavored Bang is good. Yoo-hoo Bang.
That. There's also like champagne Bang, and there's like atrocities going on. That's why I got to hate on Bang a little bit.
Oh, I'm calling it now. If you haven't seen the newest season of How To with John Wilson, he goes to the Bang mansion, and I'm like, this is going to be a Netflix documentary soon.
Yeah, that's
because
the new
there's
Playboy Mansion.
that guy is way too old, and there's too many like 19-year-olds wandering around. I'm like, they just kind of go there, and it's the moment, and that's it. And I'm like, this is Netflix documentary 5 years. I'm calling it, the Bang scandal or whatever.
I mean, just the alliteration in itself. Like it works.
Oh, yeah.
It just proves my boner pill theory 100% completely.
Well, and the Bang CEO's name is Jackawalk. So, you know.
Yeah.
Now you're just making things up.
Nope. I'm Jack OWOC. Jackawalk is his name. Well, let's. I want to.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling a wiggle down there.
I'm Jackawalked up, baby. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready to fucking. I'm ready to launch.
Ready to launch.
Have you ever got,
5, 4, 3, 2.
So my energy drink of choice before you segue over Rivers is Aspire. Have you guys had an Aspire?
No,
That seems like
I
a
love
very
it. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, no.
Bum, bum.
yeah. That's like it's an energy drink with ambitions.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is. Aspire is for somebody that's trying to boost their metabolism according to the bottle, which I believe, obviously.
Well,
So, like, if I eat a heavy meal, I'm like, oh, I drink an Aspire and it's going to be fine.
I aspire to have not eaten 2 carnitas burritos before bed.
I aspire to not sleep tonight and finish my rock opera.
This is interesting. No, I don't think we've ever had this.
Oh, I
I've
should.
never even seen that. Where
Oh.
do you get this
Oh
stuff?
That's
my
it,
god!
right?
Yeah, I have like 2 boxes. I should bring you guys.
I was
one.
gonna say, yeah, or just
If I had known,
or
I
just
would've
tell me
brought-
where you get it, because that could open up a pathway to finding new
I
shit.
got it at Rite Aid.
Okay, yeah, oh, Rite Aid. I've never actually looked. No, I mean, I'm always
No,
I'm always on the
reading
hunt.
my phone. You know what? One of the good things about Aspire is it's kosher.
Oh, hell yeah! Wow,
That's
okay.
good. Well, Passover is on Friday.
That's true. Yeah,
You're gonna need a 24 pack.
Yeah, Mazel Tov to everybody who
I will
celebrates.
definitely bring in my Aspire over to the Passover Seder.
Yeah, we'll have
Drink it at the table.
It's bitter, probably.
I was gonna
huh?
say, yeah, the super caffeine is the bitter roots, and then we'll get the rabbi to bless the liposome technology.
Has anyone else noticed that this? It honestly looks like it's alive.
Yeah.
The Seder prayer before.
Is this ectoplasm? Is that what this is?
No, it looks weird. It doesn't look good.
It is certainly ooze.
Here, I'm gonna take a picture for the Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Looks
need
bad
we need
and
people to see
weird.
this
This
because
is very concerning.
yeah. I want to talk about your podcast right
Oh,
quick and tell
look at that.
people about that, because you know we're all amped up. Let's talk some.
do it after we're
talk some coaching.
Energizing right here.
Yeah, hell yeah. 'Cause-
Oh God.
Oh God.
Why did I do that to myself?
Now we got you.
Oh, it's like when you buy something and you're like, I haven't had this in a while, and then you eat it and you're like, oh, I forgot. That's
It's
right. I
terrible.
don't like it.
Yeah. Damn.
I did that the other day. I bought something at Ralph's, and God, I forgot what frozen meal it was, and then I had it again. I was like, these are terrible. Why do I keep doing it?
Damn.
Because the box looks amazing.
Yeah, Swanson's meatloaf. It'll get you every time.
You know what I did that recently?
What's
Shake Shack.
Oh,
Fucking
oh.
ripoff, dude.
Yeah.
$20 for like
yeah.
a child's serving of food.
Yeah.
Wait, $20? What did you get?
Just like a single cheeseburger and fries. And it was like 20 fucking bucks. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's expensive there.
Really?
Fat Burger's better.
Wow.
Absolutely it is.
It really does just look like dirty, fucking nasty water. It
Oh God.
somehow looks
Oh,
worse
no.
in the picture than it does in real life.
You know what that looks like?
You have a
Remember there was
talent.
that Flint scandal?
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah. it's-
Yeah. Obama comes in. It's like, oh, the liposome
Roger Moore is making
technology.
a documentary about this water right,
Roger and
right
me.
now.
Yeah, Michael Moore's coming in.
Michael
fucking,
Roger and me
I just said
have
Roger
spiders
Moore.
crawling on our heads.
I just realized I just said Roger Moore.
the James Bond of yesteryear.
yeah. My dad worked in a factory and he drank liposome every day. But yeah, let's talk about your podcast.
We have this podcast. It's called Inside the 18. It's a goalkeeper podcast. It's for the soccer position goalkeeper. And we have different goalkeepers from around the world, different coaches on around the world. I have 2 amazing co-hosts. One of them won a World Cup in 99, an Olympic gold medal in 96.
Shit.
Wow.
The other one is an assistant coach at LAFC, which is the Major League Soccer team here in LA.
Yeah.
And I do comedy. So that's... They're like...
Triumvirate of champions.
I'm like, look, I already bought all this podcast equipment. Are you guys down to do this? Like, let's just make it happen.
Yeah.
No, I was fortunate. I had a little bit of a career in soccer, and so I made some connections and relationships, and know these people, and it's cool, man, because like they give like kind of the street cred, and like now the weird thing is like people will come up to me and they're like, dude, I was like, you just, I'm like, I have no credibility. Like, I don't know why you're talking to me. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. But like, because of the podcast, they think like I must be really knowledgeable on the position.
We get that too.
Yeah. They're like, you know a lot about liposome, don't you?
Yeah. We're liposomeologists.
YouTube and energy drink.
Yeah.
Honestly, like my favorite thing about doing a podcast though is just like all the relationships I've been able to like create. Not create, but like have from people around the world that I never would have met if it weren't for the podcast. And like recently we were in Kansas City at the national convention, soccer convention, and there's just all these people who just come up to you and it's like they've been listening to you, so they feel like they're your best friend.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
And they're like, dude, what's going on with like Shelby? I'm like, what? What are you talking? Like, how do you know about my sister? Like, this is creepy. It's like, no, in like episode 65, you like mentioned. I'm like, I don't want to know that. Like, that's weird.
People from my job started listening to the podcast.
Oh, nice.
And, he knows who he is. Angelo started listening to it, and he was like, man, you giggle a lot.
I will say the coolest thing is when you're doing a show and people come up to you afterwards and they're like, hey, man, they're like, that is so awesome. They're like, I've been listening since blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you found out that I'm performing like off of La Brea, like on a Tuesday. Like, man.
Next to a gas station with a waterfall.
Exactly. Exactly. This is a mic. Why are you here? Like, what's going on here? No, I appreciate all the fans. It's really awesome. And I mean, we're kind of in this cool new world now where basically like we can create our own fan bases now, you know?
Right.
It used to be, you know, back in the day, like when I first moved to LA, that like, you know, there was basically, for lack of a better term, like the gatekeepers that were kind of keeping you from like starting your own career. And now it's like, well, you can develop your own fan base and then like they have to let you in basically because you have the fan base.
Yeah, they would lose money if they didn't let you in.
Yeah. So
we've been able to take our podcast now, and now we've been able to expand it to other things. Like I'm a co-founder in a new sports communities social media network.
Nice.
It's an app that's available on like Apple, like Google Play stores, all that stuff. We started with Soccer Goalkeeper for like our beta, but now we're moving on to all of soccer and then eventually to other sports communities. I'm a startup co-founder, guys.
Hell yeah.
It's very, which means at any point right now, I'm going to start going on a drug bender. Like, I think that's pretty much the next level of investment round.
Yeah.
You progressively become a worse human being, I think is the way that works.
Right.
Cue Sunshine of Your Love for the Martin Scorsese.
Have you guys been watching all these like startup shows lately?
No.
Like Super
Startup
Pumped.
shows.
Well, they're all about different startups. Like that's becoming like the fad right now. Like there's like We Work one.
Yeah, it's Super Pumped. Is about
Just
Travis
Uber-
Kalanick, the
the Uber
fucking
one.
founder of Uber. Yeah.
And then there's the Dropout. There's a bunch of them right now going on.
They're all scams at the end of the day, where it's like, this
Well,
is.
what's fascinating though is like watching the first episodes. Because they're like, I'm going through all of this right now. When do I become a douchebag? Like, it's got to be coming soon, right?
Well, what's your net worth in Bitcoin?
Well, we need to get there. But the funniest thing is like I'm starting to meet with VCs because that's our next round of investment.
Right.
And oh my God, they are like those people on the show. Like it's not that different. You're just making a deal with the devils, basically.
Yeah.
If any VCs are listening right now, not you.
Yeah. It's someone else.
It's the other VCs out there. But there's the ones out there who are like social impact VCs. I believe in all of your causes. So please don't cancel that meeting next Friday. We need that money.
I used to work at not for Bird Scooters, but I worked at their office and I saw the startup vibe. And it's definitely get investments from people who don't really know what's going on within the business and then allot that money to mostly yourself and other employees in a very small amount. This was at a big company.
So here's the thing with startups and kind of going through this journey right now that I've learned real quickly. It's like I'm like, we just raised X amount of money. I'm rich. No, that's not my money. I have nothing to do with that money. I still live with a roommate.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people do get off at that signpost, though.
Yeah.
You'll know you have money when you stop the podcasts. That's the point. You'll know.
Oh no, dude! The podcast is going to continue on for. I love doing podcasts. I do a podcast every day and different topics and stuff. Like I listen to people like Bill Simmons, who has the Ringer Network, and I just go, I would love to do that. I would love to just be able to just like have a podcast. Like, man, that's a really cool poster. Well, let's just do a podcast about that, and I'm going to get paid six figures to do that. Sounds awesome.
Right.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
That's a
Make
whole
it happen.
other situation.
Oh, I'm sure there's a movie poster podcast out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Almost has to be.
Once we hit the big time rivers, we'll be testing different kinds of champagne.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, dude.
It's what made you guys decide that you wanted to do a podcast? Is that something that you guys always aspired to do, or did it just kind of happen organically?
I did radio in college. So when I moved out here, and that's how I learned to edit and do all that stuff. So as soon as I moved out here, it was like pretty high on the agenda.
Yeah.
Just because that's a thing I know how to do.
Yeah.
It's basically just kind of kept going since 2013. And then Sam moved in next door. So
I came in organically.
Yeah. Sam came on one episode and me and Pat were like, that dude's fucking hilarious. And then Carter moved in next door. Pat moved to Vancouver. So, pieces kind of just sort
He
of
moved to Vancouver.
tumbled together. Yeah.
I'm making quotation marks.
I did have a podcast back when I first started comedy in Austin that I did for a few episodes, but then stopped doing because it's hard to get motivated when the only people listening to your podcast are like four people who you sort of know. And
How weird is it that first email or DM you get from somebody and they're like, "Hey, I've been listening for blah blah blah," and you're like, "Why?"
It's extremely flattering.
Yeah.
I'm immediately embarrassed because I feel like I said something I shouldn't have or something.
Carter grew up Catholic.
I did. I have a lot of internal guilt about everything. But yeah, no. I mean, I think all podcasts need. We're getting very meta on this.
Very much so.
I think is a multiverse of energy drinks.
It's the energy drinks that's making this conversation
Yeah.
happen.
Absolutely. But I think every podcast needs like the guy who like pushes it forward, who is like schedules it and gets people there, and like I would say that Rivers is that guy at 100%, and I am lucky to be attached to his coattails.
Okay, so thank God. So it's not just my podcast where I do all the fucking work. Okay, so
yeah.
I thought it was just me. And
No.
it's like both my co-hosts are dead weights. No, it's just the way it works with podcasts. Okay, I see how it works.
Taking a picture.
It's like a group assignment. There's like one guy's gonna do it all. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, we talk and then take a picture afterward. Actually, taking a picture of your glass of energy drink is probably the most I've done for the podcast in a while.
Dude, my favorite thing is like one of like my co-hosts who has a massive social media following. I'll be like, "Hey man, can you just tag the podcast?" He's like, "Oh, are we doing a podcast tomorrow?" All right, dude. I'm glad you really want to grow this thing. I'm really glad it's important to you.
I will say I was I mean I've always been like happy to do it, and then like once I saw like the people who like listened to it and like got back to it, I was like, God damn, this is really like reaching more people than I thought. And now it's
true.
like now I'm like really like I don't know, I'm still like very privileged to be on it. I think
We're all famous
I'm very
now.
happy to be on
I
it.
will be straight up honest. Like, this is one of the funnest podcasts I've ever done.
Oh, good.
Seriously.
Really?
All right.
So much fun.
That's what I'm going
yeah.
for.
No, I mean,
feed you the energy.
I was gonna
drink.
say, yeah, that's how we. That's the secret
educational,
sauce.
no, but definitely fun.
Do y'all know about The Villages? Have you ever heard of the
M. Night
Villages?
Shyamalan movie.
Oh yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah.
That's like the sequel, right? Like Aliens.
Yeah, Village, The Villages.
I was thinking the Villages is in like, I think that's like an elderly community in Florida. The Villages.
You are correct, sir.
Okay.
Yes. So between 2010 and 2020, The Villages was the fastest growing metropolitan area in the United States. And what it is, so it's located northwest of Orlando. Homes within The Villages must have at least one person 55 years of age or older living there. And persons under the age of 19 are not permitted to reside within The Villages unless an exemption is granted. And but they do have 3 of the 17 villages have been designated designated as family units and are not subject to this restriction. So otherwise, people under 19, grandchildren are permitted to visit for no more than 30 days.
So this is
I thought you were going to say no more than 30 minutes. Like, all right, conjugal visit with your grandparents, guys. Like, what's going on?
Throw the ball! Throw the goddamn ball! The clock is ticking!
Don't get too comfortable.
There's just a prison guard. There's just a prison guard with Ray-Bans just standing there.
Don't get too comfortable watching Jeopardy.
Time's up. Time's up.
it's a real stay off my lawn vibe,
dude.
at the villages.
And so it is. I mean, it's a, as you might imagine, a hotbed of conservatism, and I have been granted exclusive access to the village's Facebook group, which is truly one of the.
Oh, hold on! Exclusive access to the village's Facebook group. It's just 3,000 people trying to figure out how to use Facebook.
Well,
exactly.
they cleared that hurdle, Mike.
Okay.
They have managed that. It's everything else
Just a bunch
in
of
life.
hashtags. Like, they don't know what they're doing.
It's every single other aspect of life they are still working on.
Okay. Oh,
and
no.
and their newspaper, villages-news.com, their crime section is amazing because it is all old people who are on pills and wine crashing golf carts into things.
You gotta be kidding me.
That's the whole crime section is literally just like, oh, old Mr. McClanahan drove his golf cart into a ditch. The police were able to pull it out, and he was
Local daredevil. Ernest O'Houlihan died of old age before he ran his golf cart into the side of a Subaru.
But like I said, they do have. There's like 7. It's literally like towns. Like they have like townships. So it'll be like, I think the one in question is the village of Rio Grande, and it's just like this little like kind of census designated place called the Villages with these little towns in them. And
Is that where they round up all the minorities in Florida? Like
well, they have 3 of the 17 villages that do allow kids. So with that in mind, this is a letter to the editor of villages of villages-news.com. It was written by a guy named Dr. Tyler Nelson, and the title is
Hold on, Dr. Tyler?
Dr. Tyler. Yeah.
Dr. Tyler, bro.
Yeah. Dr. Tyler Nelson, and the title is Solution to Lack of Waiters and Waitresses in the Villages.
I like how the letter to the editor is like the original blog post.
Oh, it's posting, baby. Tyler Nelson be posting. All right. So this is what he has to say. We returned to the Villages 3 weeks ago. We have lived here part-time for less than 2 years, but one issue seems to remain. The need that every restaurant in the Villages seems to not have enough help. In the past 3 weeks, we have attempted to frequent some of the best restaurants in Spanish Springs, Lake Sumter, Brownwood, only to be met with 1 to 2 hour waiting lines. Upon entering the restaurant, all you see is empty tables. What is the issue, I wondered? One manager told me, buddy, if you can find the help, we are hiring. And the reason for the wait and the empty tables is no waiters, no waitresses, no cooks, no busboys, no help. So
you should close then.
So you shouldn't have a restaurant if you can't fucking pay people.
Here's a couple things that are going on right now, right? First off, you said that like under 19 can't really live around the Villages. Or be
like
in
I
the
said, they have
Villages.
3 inclusionary village zones,
Okay.
so you can have a family in the 3 of the 17. So, yeah.
So it's got to be one of those kids that's like the busser or like the host.
That's kind of what he's getting at. And those things I listed, those are all villages: Spanish Springs, Lake Sumter, Brownwood.
They sound beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what they sound like? They sound like in a simulation, like where like they would make these like
It's the Truman
where
Show.
we believe that like this is like the real world. It's like
Yeah.
in Brownville next to like Summer Springs, and, like, Fountainwood.
The Truman Show filmed in Seaside, Florida.
Yeah.
Not coincidentally. So as a business owner for nearly 30 years, I wondered to myself, what could be the solution? What would I do if I owned one of these restaurants and that was turning away business? Not filling empty tables just because of lack of help. Solution. I'm told the Villages has some of the best charter schools in Florida. Some of the smartest students and some of the best schools. If I owned one of these restaurants, I'd partner up with my fellow restaurateurs and go to these high schools and set up a student work program, an after-school and weekend program with these schools, a paid earned credit work program. an after-school program where students earn credits and money while learning responsibility and work ethic and working among the public and filling these much-needed jobs at the villages. Hard work never killed any young students.
What Tea Party member wrote this?
Dr. Tyler Nelson.
There's part of me that hates this, and there's part of me that's like, well, they'll learn more real-life skills there than in high school.
That is a good point. I mean, yeah, it's like, they're asking to pay them slave wages, essentially, but you're right. Yeah.
I know, I was going to say, like, this is like a very, very, like, Qatar type situation going on right here.
Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's bring in every.
They're like, there's like a bunch of like less privileged children in the area,
right,
in surrounding towns that couldn't use this money.
Yeah.
And we could use them.
Yeah. And there's also there's also the entire country of India and Somalia, and we could take their passports.
If you guys could just import just some kids from South Asia, that'd be great. And bring them to the villages. Next time you go to the villages and you're like, excuse me, I'd like some more like more breadsticks, and it's just like some kid from like Cambodia. You're like, okay, this is not what I wanted.
So this is why I love it. He says, not every kid is in a sports program after school. How many 15, 16, and 17-year-old kids would love to earn some money and school credits working in the villages and parlay that into weekend work as well?
Without overtime pay. So
right. So he's
got
literally
more of that work for me, boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Which Koch brother wrote this?
I'm telling you, dude. Like, this guy is literally just like seeing like kids skateboarding. He's like, they should be fucking working.
You know what? Throw a Pac-Man machine in the restroom. They'll like it.
The thing is, he's not even seeing children playing because there's no
that's
children
true.
around.
That's true. Yeah.
He's just imagining them playing and wasting their goddamn time playing.
Yeah, the back of his eyelids is just playing like two kids on a seesaw all day. And he's like, God damn it.
But I love these types of programs, or ideas that come sometimes from, and I don't want to get too political on this podcast or anything like that, but like from, let's just say, the right, where they go like, well, you know what, this is a great program. It's like, all right, would you do this with your family? Well, hell no, but great program.
My kid doesn't need to work.
The restaurants could collectively hire transportation, pick up 50, 70, 100 kids per day right after school.
How many fucking restaurants do these places
that's
have?
what I'm saying. Like,
there can only be 20 Olive Gardens in the villages,
right?
Well, there's 17 villages, so we can assume 17 Olive Gardens.
There's also a Buca de Beppo.
Yeah, 17 Outbacks. 17 Long John Silvers.
Have you kids learned to use a wood-fired oven yet?
Like, imagine how depressing this is, where he's like, oh, we should pick them up from school and take them directly to their minimum wage restaurant job where they're serving old people on pills breadsticks.
To be fair, though, if it's a Rainforest Cafe, they are getting that experience.
Oh, yeah.
Of being in another country.
And the experience of running out of the kitchen screaming when someone orders the chocolate volcano lava cake. Do they still do that at Rainforest Cafe?
I don't know, but like the last time I was at a Rainforest Cafe was in the Ontario Mall.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I don't remember why I was there.
One of my favorite open mic jokes I ever heard. I don't remember who it was. It was just one of those, heard it randomly and it was great. So if it's yours, tweet at me. But someone said Rainforest Cafe is what happens when you play Jumanji at an Applebee's. And that is one of my favorite fucking jokes I've ever heard. But yeah, so he's suggesting that they split the cost of hiring a bus to pick up all these students to take them to the thing. So he says, what are the losses to these restaurants that have no help but have empty tables? 40, 50, 75 a person. Like, he loves lists of numbers. Add it up. Now think of the earnings by filling these positions with eager, hardworking teenagers. My first job was a busboy at 14, and then a waiter at 15, and eventually assistant to the cook at 16.
It's not the Great Dust Bowl. Like, these kids are not foaming at the mouth to get off TikTok and work at Marie Callender's. Like, it's not.
It's the next sentence like, I have no one to talk to, and I have been coming up with these ideas all day in my head, assuming I know how things work still. My brain hasn't worked right in 20 years.
I'm drunk on white wine and half crazy.
I refuse to accept the reality of venturing out of the villages into the real world where I am irrelevant.
You know what? What happened here is that this guy went at like 4:30 to one of his favorite restaurants, and they weren't open, and they said because we're short-staffed.
Right.
And he's like, fuck it, I'm figuring it out. I'm gonna make this happen because I'm selfish. It's about me. me.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about other people. He cares about himself.
He wants good service. Ultimately, that's all. If that wasn't part of it, he wouldn't give a fuck about this at all.
But that's the thing is like with a lot of these programs, like they put in the guys under helping others, but it's really about helping themselves.
Right.
This guy says the experience of work as a young teenager paying off dividends as a mature adult doctor 15 years later, which you could just say an adult. I don't know why you gotta throw in Craigslist language to that. Like, ooh, seeking young, supple adult doctor.
Grown strongman doctor.
Great
55-year-old mature adult doctor.
Brunette doctor.
Sexy doctors.
You, 19-year-old boy.
He says, great.
Fort Lauderdale community.
He says, great experience, great education on working with the public, great lessons for when I became a doctor. All of this started at 14 working at a restaurant. I don't know what the work permits allow in Florida. And it's like, well, you should look that part up to see if there's a fatal flaw in your plan.
No, don't do that.
Hold on. Are there child labor laws in Florida? Pretty sure.
Well, I love this where he says, I don't know what the work permits allow in Florida, but I do know where there's a will, there is a way to solve this.
Fake
issue.
your identity.
Right.
Okay. So he wants you to fake your age.
He wants the restaurateurs to say like, oh yeah, these kids are all 18.
Or he literally wants Florida.
So he wants to human traffic too.
Yeah, he wants his fucking breadsticks is what he wants.
He literally wants Florida to change their laws so that he doesn't have to wait at a restaurant as long.
Yep.
Oh man.
And where there's a will, there's a way.
That's what he says.
By the way, this is the majority of the people that vote.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, is DeSantos in Florida?
Yeah. Ron DeSantis.
He's a gym.
Oh yeah.
It's a hellscape, that state.
So
I was watching UFC this past weekend. It was in Jacksonville. They do the thing where they show different celebrities in the crowd. Biggest pop, Ron DeSantis. And they were showing like, UFC former champs and like actual famous people. When they put the politician on, woo! It was so bizarre. I've never seen it. And UFC crowd booed Donald Trump once.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I'm excited to see that primary. That's going to be one of the funnest primaries I think ever.
And the irony is like California's a very left state. If Gavin Newsom was like featured like at the Staples Center, like everybody, Governor Gavin Newsom, it would just be a string of boos.
Oh yeah.
Coming down.
Yeah, definitely.
And be like, what? I'm on your side. No, you're not. You're just under the guise of being on our side.
So this is the last part. This is addressed to restaurant owners in the villages! ! Go talk to the administrators at the villages' high schools and set up a student work program. The resources are right here. These young, smart students are ready, willing, and able.
This is my favorite part of this. Oh, I came up with this great idea. Also, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Someone else. This is a brilliant fucking idea. I'm just letting you have it. Go fucking do this shit.
This whole thing is a fucking why. Back in my day.
Because the thing is that he's not culpable.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, well, I never thought anyone would instigate it. Like,
I just wanted a side salad. There's kids locked up in the Applebee's basement.
He says, pay these kids a minimum wage and tips and let them earn school credits. As a doctor in 30 years of practice, I'd never turn away a new patient just because I didn't have enough nurses. That is illegal. What he just said is fucking illegal. I'd hire or find a way to hire more nurses or associate doctors. The classic economic dilemma of supply and demand. You've got the demand. Now find a solution to provide the supply. He's talking about humans there. I think I found your solution. Seek
I'm
these
surprised
young
he actually
students.
said hire more nurses as opposed to hire more dames.
Them gals in white that I call them my gals. It says, I think I found your solution. Seek these young students. Problem solved. Now I'd like to order the porterhouse and a nice bottle of Chianti. Dr. Tyler Nelson, Villages of Rio
Signing
Grande.
off, slit his wrist in a bathtub.
If any of our listeners are into doxing people, we just gave out that guy's full name.
Hey, it was on villages.com.
I said they can dox him. We just read a post. If anybody wants to dox this guy, though, I don't know how I'd feel about it, but you should try it so I can tell how I would feel.
It's funny that you said about giving away information because like we have a meetup for the Comedy in English show, and at first I was like putting down because I'm just so used to for emails like putting down like my full name and email address and phone number, and I'm like, oh no. I should stop doing this.
You never know these days.
I should stop doing this because like anyone can come across that meetup and sign up.
Yeah.
You know, these aren't like my friends.
Yeah.
I just love that he just totally admitted, like, I'm willing to break the law if I don't have enough nurses. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't be saying that out loud. You have to have a certain amount of help if you're running a fucking doctor's office, you psycho.
Also,
I'll
like,
run
he's
the damn thing myself. Fuck y'all.
he's living in an area that's primarily over the age of 55.
Yeah.
The amount of people that require medical attention a day.
Oh, it's everyone. Every single
He's
person.
responsible for at least 25% of the deaths. I'm assuming.
Yeah, and
He didn't want to get more.
Yeah, and the other 80% is driving while intoxicated a golf cart.
Right.
Yeah. People, Johnny Knoxville themselves all the time there.
I get it. It's probably the most fun they can have at that age.
We are the Village Green Preservation Society. God save Donald Duck, vaudeville and variety. We are the Desperate Dan Appreciation Society. God save strawberry jam and all the different varieties.
I found two fun stories with a similar theme I want to share with y'all. This first one is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. According to the Tulsa Police Department, a man later identified as Randy Cantwell came to the affordable auto dealership and asked to look at an Audi in the lot. An employee
That was his first mistake.
First of all, it's affordable auto. I was like, why do they have Audis? This should be all Fords and Hyundais.
I was going to say, like, if you're at the affordable auto dealership and you're like, yeah, can I find a... you have a 9 to 7 Audi? I'm like, you're going to get in a car accident. That's what's going to happen.
So the employee...
It's a collector's item. That's what they call the old Audis.
A classic is what they call it.
Call that the jewel of Tulsa. Is what we
Because
call that.
nobody's refurbishing an Audi. Like,
So an employee got the keys and began showing Cantwell the car, but said the car wasn't ready to be driven. Cantwell said that he was taking it anyway and claimed that the dealership had stolen the car. So he told employees that he was a federal marshal.
The DMX. The Earl Simmons trick.
He said he was a federal marshal and he could take the car if he wanted. So the employees blocked the car in, and when Cantwell realized he couldn't get away, he got out of the car and began to walk off. Tulsa police arrived and spoke with Cantwell, who had no ID verifying that he was a federal marshal. He told officers that he became a marshal after former President Trump enacted martial law.
he did not.
That's what he said. He was like, well,
He did not.
Which also that didn't happen either. So that's not a thing. But I love that he
Not
read
the same thing anyway.
He read it on the internet like, oh, Trump's declared martial law and I'm the fucking marshal.
Time to go train myself in my backyard.
Also, that never happened.
Marshall Miles.
Yeah, that never happened. And also a federal marshal and martial law are not this. They are not spelled the same. They're two different words.
Also, I knew as soon as his name was Randy, he
yeah.
was going to be a dummy.
His AKA was Marshall Mathers.
Oh man, yeah. So I gotta just say I profess my undying love for local loons who pretend to be cops and stuff. Always fun when they try to get away with shit.
Have you seen that there was a paper that somebody did, and I apologize, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but somebody did a research paper on subconsciously when anyone flashes anything, if they have any sort of confidence and authority, people just automatically assume that they are that person of authority.
Oh, yeah.
Like if somebody just walked in here right now and they just flashed something at us really quickly without us taking a look at it, with a certain air about them, we would just believe that's what's going on.
Well, not after hearing that.
Well, no.
Yeah, now I'm going to be on my toes. Yeah.
Somebody walks in here and
If
flashes
we lived in the
something.
villages, we'd believe
Yeah.
it. But us intellects here,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, here in the salon, we don't go for that.
Generally, if someone flashes something at me and it says booty inspector, I'm like, right this way. Or if they're wearing a T-shirt or some shit that says that.
look, all the pet detectives I've ever met.
Yeah, every pet detective I've ever met.
This is these stories happened the same fucking day, which was just amazing. Bunnell, Florida, which is just north of
all Florida.
Dayton Beach. Well, the other one's Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, right.
Which is
bad too.
Yeah, that's the Florida of the breadbasket.
By the
There's
way,
a lot of Florida.
Tomorrow
in
we're doing
America.
a podcast for my show. I'm going to be so depressed doing it. I'm like, this show's so fucking boring. People are not interesting. Why can't I just come back?
So we go from an Audi to this story. So Bunnell, Florida, police in Bunnell said that they were called to a Wendy's on Monday.
Ooh, Wendy's.
Because a customer was arguing with the staff. David Stover, 57, was arrested Monday at the Wendy's on Commerce Parkway after trying to get a discount on his fast food order after impersonating a DEA agent.
I'm going to be honest, 57's a little old to be getting arrested at Wendy's.
57.
Yeah.
Imagine a 57-year-old man being like, I need my damn Frosty. I work for the DEA.
There's a meth bust. I got to fuel up on my Baconator.
57, also, you shouldn't be eating Wendy's at that age.
Oh, yeah. You got-
Keel over any day.
By the way, does anybody know why Wendy's is the only fast food place that has a baked potato bar? Like where that
I think it's just a holdover from like
the old days.
From the old
60s?
days.
Yeah.
I think it was like a post Super Size Me reaction. It's like, we could make healthier stuff.
They had the potato.
The potatoes.
They had that for a while?
Oh, yeah.
Because my grandma used to take me to Wendy's because she said it was the healthier fast food option because they had the baked potato bar.
Yeah.
Just like Sizzler.
Oh,
I'm
right,
like,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
That's a vegetable. Yeah, no, that's totally left over from like the golden age of like, I would assume Wendy's probably hit a period where like McDonald's is going real hard and they're like, oh, we got to like switch it up. So that's when you get like late 80s, early 90s, you get the taco salad. And I feel like the taco salad and the baked potato kind of, I may be wrong, but I feel like those are kind of like same time period.
I'm guessing that it's also one of those things where like
and the chili too.
it's in like the will, like that.
Dave
they
Thomas.
Dave Thomas is like, you can't get rid of the baked potato bar.
Baked potato.
Bless him if that's the case.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care what the different changes in society are, the baked potato bar stays. It's like, and you also can't hire. Nope, we're going to cut off that part. That part of the will's gone.
Is there still one in LA that has an actual bar?
I don't know if they. I don't know. The one on Vermont, I know, does not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I will say, though, that to earlier statement that 50-year-olds going into Wendy's, they fucking love it. People over 50 love to eat
Wendy's.
indoors.
At Wendy's, yeah.
They don't go drive-through. They're like, I want to have a nice meal to myself. At
Dude, my
this Wendy's.
grandma used to take us in to Wendy's to eat at Wendy's.
Yeah.
It was the only fast food place we would eat indoors, like we were going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's a fancy
weird.
place.
So officers said Stover was demanding a law enforcement discount and started threatening to report staff to Wendy's corporate headquarters for not giving it to him. According to police, Stover had been a regular at that Wendy's for several years, and workers said that he used to get a 50% discount because he had a friend that worked there. But when that person left their job, he started claiming he was a DEA agent. Which is like, I love a guy who just can't take the L. It's like, dude, it's over.
I'm a space cowboy.
Don't be fucking mad because it's over. Be glad because you had a friend. You know what I mean?
You're right, Carl. That's a good point. He should have just said he was on Space Force.
I'm on Space Force.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have been able to question him because like no one knows what that badge looks like.
It's super secret, top secret shit.
I know I come to this Wendy's every single day, but I am in Space Force.
That's my cover. That's just cover as he goes to that Wendy's every day.
Wendy's has gotten more expensive.
It's true.
You know, no shit. You know what I saw in a Wendy's the other day?
Supply chain issues. That's what everybody blames on everything. Whenever anyone
They
says
raised
like
the price
and everything,
$3.
it's like that cereal's really expensive.
Well, we
it's a
gotta-
supply chain issue.
We got to pay for these 14-year-olds we're trucking in from the high school.
Yeah.
You know?
How else
We
you
got to
gonna
pay
do
for
it?
the bus. We got to, all shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
But I was gonna say, you know who I saw at a fucking Wendy's the other day? No shit, Jay Leno.
What? Of course.
He loves trashy food.
In the Burbank Wendy's.
That rules.
And he's like sitting there. He's like eating. And this guy was like turning around,
Denim?
head to toe, clad
yeah,
in denim,
dog.
and like he's fucking like, and his like handler was there, and this guy's name was like it had to be like fucking
Kevin Eubanks.
Like, it had to be Gus or something. Like this guy,
It's Kevin Eubanks with the guitar.
dude. Someone like turned around and was like looking at him, and he was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, we appreciate you being here. The guy did not work at Wendy's. He's like, I just want to let you know, we appreciate you being here. Now, what do you think about the Silverado? And, yeah, I swear to God, and Jay Leno's going like, it's a pretty good car. It's got good horsepower and shit. I mean, like he's like started answering him and
What
shit.
the fuck?
And then like, and I was like, okay, Jay Leno seems like a nice enough guy. And then he like walked away. And then I was me and Carly were eating at this Wendy's, and then like Carly went over and was like, "Isn't that crazy? That was Jay Leno." And then the guy took all these airs. He's like, "Hey, he's just a person like me and you." Okay? He's like, "Oh fuck you! It's not like you see Jay Leno every day at 4:00 at this Wendy's."
He's a
Now,
nice guy.
now let's be
Everybody
honest.
says he's a
That
nice
conversation is now on the marquee at Flappers. That's what's
right. Yeah.
going on right now.
So on Monday, when Stover again sought the discount, a manager finally asked to see his credentials. So shout out to this manager being like, you know what? This fucking guy's full of shit, and I'm going to prove it right now. And then he went out and was like, show me a badge.
That's funny because that means he wore out his welcome at Wendy's.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was such a dick. They were like, wait a minute, this guy's not a cop.
And we don't like you.
And he's always here. It's like, dude, if you were a DEA agent, you would sometimes not be at this Wendy's asking for a discount. You'd be solving crimes. So they say that he flashed a badge, but the badge turned out to be a plastic badge that says conceal carry permit.
Even more disconcerting.
Just some stupid badge that he bought at a fucking like army surplus store that says conceal carry permit. So that was
sheriff of this here town.
I was concerned that actually he had a concealed.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Probably. I'm sure it was in the truck.
In Florida, you don't need one, I think.
Alabama got rid of theirs, I think.
You can just
recently.
walk around with it in public, like brandishing
Florida's
gun?
open carry, I think.
Jesus.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Alabama got rid of the concealed permit, so you can legally have that shit in your glove box, like hidden on your
Texas, too.
person.
Yeah.
Dude. So cool.
Keeping us safe out there. From Wendy's.
You can bury it in your backyard. You can just sprinkle it. You can sprinkle guns on the street like Johnny Appleseed.
When the manager asked to examine the badge, Stover became very argumentative, prompting Wendy's to call 911. Investigators say that Stover denied ever claiming to be a DA agent.
Oh, good fellow officer.
Yeah, exactly. However, a police frisk of the Wendy's regular recovered a gold badge with the words "concealed weapon permit" on it. So that was what he was. So he faces charges of impersonating a law enforcement officer. So
All this for a fucking Dave Single.
that's what I'm saying. The Audi is so much more relatable. It's like, dude, if you're going for it, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
You know? Get that Audi, baby.
Go all out. Yeah. The cons, you gotta get something out of it that's worth it.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
risk versus reward, right? You got to look at it that way.
I wonder how much money he saved over the years pretending to be a cop at this Wendy's.
Maybe this was like his like dipping the toe in, being like, all right, I'll try it at a Wendy's. And if it works, I'm gonna walk straight into that bank and I'm gonna be like, give me $1 million.
It's making me wonder about the time I got harassed by police outside of a Wendy's, whether they really were cops.
Was this Wendy's in north of Daytona Beach, Florida?
Actually, it's actually really funny. Is like so what happened is I got my wisdom teeth out and my mouth was just a disaster, and I was in so much pain. And there was a Wendy's across the street, and so what I did was I got in my car.
Frosty.
Yep. Went and got a Frosty.
Day 1 shit, and then by day 3, chili.
Oh.
I remember the teeth.
Yeah. So I got the Frosty, chocolate Frosty, old school, and I instead of like going home to eat it, I ate it. Like I got out of the car for some reason, and I ate it there. And then, like, I threw it in the dumpster.
Watching the sunset on the hood of your car.
This is late at night. This is like over past midnight type of situation.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
And then, like, 3 cop cars come swarming on me on Sunset Boulevard.
What?
Yeah, and they're like, what was that in your hand? I'm like, a Frosty. And then it's like they did this whole thing.
What the fuck?
So it gets crazier. So they said, can we like they thought it was drugs or whatever. They're like, they searched your car or whatever.
Yeah.
So they find this little green and white like felt thing that my mom had given me, and it was supposed to ward off like evil spirits. And they asked me like, what is this? And I'm like, it's my protection. Because that's what it was for. It was like spiritual protection. I'm also not thinking straight.
It's
here.
my yarn condom.
I also may be on some pain pills.
Yeah, sure.
So they're like, so they open it up and like white granules of powder start coming down, and they're just like, oh yeah, guy's clearly got meth. He's like,
Jesus.
I'm like, my mom's a drug mule. I didn't know this this entire time. But yeah, then they started like searching me and they started asking me all these questions. Long story short is they just basically harassed me.
Sure. Yeah.
And then another cop car, I swear to God, this happened. They come by and they go, hey, how's that? Whatever the guy's name is like, oh, no, not much going on tonight. Pretty slow night. He's like, yeah, pretty slow night. All right, see ya. I think these guys were just fucking with me because they had nothing else to do.
I mean, that's what the
Super
cops
Trooper
do.
style. Like, I
what
think
the
that's
cops
basically what was
do.
going on.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's
They didn't end up doing anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
Because I
course.
didn't do anything.
Right. Yeah.
Other than I was illegally driving on pain pills, but other than that, other than that, I'm
They didn't
fine.
know that
Yeah.
shit.
Dumpsters for employee use only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
More of the story is, guys, if you get a Frosty at a drive-thru, just go home. Don't get out of the car, eat it on a stoop, and then throw it in the trash. It's just
Rivers,
it
didn't
looks
you,
spike it
very
into the
suspicious.
ground. Yeah,
looks
don't-
very suspicious.
Rivers, you got harassed eating fast food.
Yeah,
in
we
public?
we talked about this in the Corona Diaries back in January of 2021. I was back in Alabama, and in order to get the unemployment checks were coming to Bank of America, and the closest Bank of America to my hometown is actually over the border in Georgia in West Point. So it's about a 50-minute round trip, 25 there, 25 back. So I would go at night to get money out of the ATM, and on my way out, I saw Checkers, aka Rallies, and I was like, I'm gonna get a barbecue bacon Big Buford. and I pulled into I got the Buford, and instead of just pulling into the Checkers parking lot, I drove down the street a little bit, and there's a Piggly Wiggly that was closed, pulled underneath the street lamp. So, like, I'm as exposed as you can imagine, and I'm just like and there's just fucking sauce on my face. Like, I'm just having an affair with this burger. And then the fucking blue lights come on, and a cop was like, "What are you doing?" I'm just like, "What?" And they were like questioning me, and they were like, "Yeah, well, technically, this is trespassing because the Piggly Wiggly's closed." And I'm like, I'm fucking eating a burger in my car, man. Like, fuck off. Yeah, but yeah.
Keeping us safe out there. Just
Yeah.
keeping us safe.
Yeah.
But Sam did point out.
Focused on all the real important crimes.
Right.
Sam did point out when we talked about this when it happened, I was wearing like pretty drug dealery clothes because I had on, like, it was cold, so I had on like a big heavy jacket, but also basketball shorts.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's okay. I was a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the late night Walmart look. That's-
Yeah. It's the late night burger look,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Get off my ass, cops. Fuck y'all.
Fucking pigs.
That's right.
For a second, I thought maybe he thought you were a vampire, and you were like, that was like, because that sauce from far away.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Blood.
No telling what I mean.
You thought he was you were feeding.
Well, the funny part about it is, like, yeah, if I was gonna
Morbius.
The funny thing is, like, if I was gonna rob the Piggly Wiggly, wouldn't I pull around to the back where there's no lights to rob it? Like, why would I be in front of the store underneath a lamp? Like,
Also, brazen move, like bold move. One dude by himself.
yeah. What am I doing?
You
There?
didn't bring a guy for lookout. Like,
Oh no! Other cops showed up while this guy was talking to me.
okay.
Yeah. No, it was a whole thing. It was so fucking stupid.
Rivers gets in trouble all the time.
Oh, I'm a bad boy. I'm the.
He's the bad boy of the group. For
yeah,
sure.
that's right. That's right.
Who's peeking out from under a stairway, calling a name that's lighter than air? Who's bending down to give me a rainbow? Everyone knows it's windy.
This is from something called neomam.com, and they did a study of the most common dreams in every country. So,
Okay.
we're doing
Seems pretty legit.
yeah, we're doing the hard work
what's
here.
it called? Neo Man?
Yeah, it's neomam.com and
Neomam.
Neomam, yeah, which I'm sure stands for something, but I didn't. I didn't
It
check
sounds
what.
like someone who produces these energy drinks. that we make.
Yeah. It's a special ingredients.
What if it didn't stand for anything? What if it was just a string of characters?
Yeah. It's like AMC or TLC or all those channels that used to fucking mean something,
Well,
man.
actually, now it's making me feel like we are in a simulation and that this is the Matrix because Neo Man, that seems like it's a code, like it's that Neo is supposed to decipher his life coming from Zion.
Today,
That's what's going on right
a weed dispensary texted me a weed advertisement with a picture of Morpheus.
No way.
Yeah,
Next level
It's a
harassment.
GIF. It's an animated GIF.
Was
too.
was it Matrix Resurrections?
I don't know.
Morpheus?
I haven't seen that one, so I don't know.
The artistry.
No, this was Kush Fly. They annoy the shit out of me. I like see they
I'm
sometimes.
like, how did you get my fucking information? Like, I don't remember giving you my phone number.
I gave it to him.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And it changes.
Well, that's gonna convince me.
Yeah. Now I gotta get high.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, Morpheus.
Your mouth will walk.
I like the way he's doing it too. He's like, "What are you, a bitch?"
Smoke this weed and go take over the Capitol. Take the red pill. Yeah. Take the red kush.
And there's nothing about the Matrix in the rest of the the text.
Yeah.
Of course not. 'Cause they don't have the rights to.
But yeah, I was gonna ask. I've got it on the screen here. The most common dream in the Western world. So we're talking United States, Great Britain, Ireland, is teeth falling out.
Well, I definitely see that in the UK. Like that's definitely
Right? Yeah. And in Ireland, and
I mean,
stuff.
that's like just low hanging fruit right there. Like I didn't even have
right
to do
there.
that. Like everyone was thinking that, so I didn't have to say that.
They
Yeah.
deserved it.
Norway,
They deserved to hear
Sweden,
it.
Netherlands, Belgium, Slovakia, like all these places. That's the big thing.
That's just a stress dream.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
what is
exactly.
it? What is
Teeth
it?
falling out in those countries, really?
That's the number one dream that people have is their teeth falling out. Which
What is that supposed to signify again?
I don't know.
I think
That's
it's
never happened to me.
I would think it would be a lack of
thing.
universal health care.
Yeah. Sweden has no fucking right to be dreaming that dream. You can go to
Yeah.
the dinners for free there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our number one. But yeah, the list is just it's fucking wild. Like for instance, Armenia, the number one dream, they dream of grapes.
Grapes?
They don't dream of their cousins in Glendale.
Yeah.
No.
Glendale. South Korea falling into water, which they got the water ghosts there,
Scary.
falling into water.
Squid Games told me it was something different.
Mexico, Japan, France, Luxembourg, Togo, and Madagascar. It's you dream about your ex.
Yeah, because they're fucking over there.
Dream about your ex.
Yeah, that's the most common dream
right,
in those
so
places.
Here's an
A
extremely.
whole country of bitter people. That's
Right, yeah.
I'm looking over River's shoulder.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
an extremely sad one. Botswana eating.
oh, geez.
Oh no!
Oh. Canceled.
I said it was sad.
And in Andorra, it's being cheated on. So everyone in Andorra is just paranoid as hell.
Damn.
Well, you live in Andorra. Chances are somebody there
Wait, go
is
back
cheating on
up.
somebody on a vacation. So.
Wait, Estonia, I think it said, and go up because it's bears.
Oh yeah.
Estonia,
I didn't know
scared
there
of
was such
bears.
a bear problem.
Yeah.
Oh, and Albania breast.
Yep.
Grow up, Albania.
Albania, get out of middle school. I just like to think of everyone in Albania just closing their eyes and just boom, 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 just bouncing.
I had a
Welcome to
nightmare.
Dreamland.
So, can you pull up Venezuela? Because I'm assuming it's crumbling economy.
Let's see. Venezuela is lice. That's an upsetting
Bummer.
dream. Just like, oh, my body.
So here's the funniest thing about that is that my grandfather
is a louse.
he actually eradicated malaria in Venezuela.
No
He was a
shit.
famous doctor.
Whoa.
Wow.
He was a famous doctor in Venezuela.
Good on
That's
him.
why I
Damn.
look like I do. We're very white people. And there's a class system there. Anyway, so the lice thing is concerning me that they just stopped at malaria and they just were like, yeah, we're good enough.
Yeah. Well, it's also Nicaragua, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Colombia are also lice. That's the big dreams in those areas for some
Can
reason.
someone just get them a big bottle of Nix? Like,
yeah.
isn't that what we used to use? Like when we got head lice as kids, like
Yeah.
Nix. Isn't that what it's called?
I avoided it somehow. Like
You never got head lice?
I never did.
So you never had to put that stuff. Oh, do you ever, Car, did you ever do
dude.
that?
I don't think so, no.
I definitely.
Yeah, and your parents had to put it in, and you had to wear that cap.
And you had to use the
it's the worst.
special little comb.
Yeah, the special comb
Yeah.
to get the
Rivers,
little
do
eggs.
you ever remember in public school being checked for head lice?
Yeah.
In Alabama?
I remember being checked, but I because like one kid would get it, and so they'd
Right.
have to like.
Well, they sent the
check 'em.
letter home from school. It said,
Right.
like, your
Yeah.
child's been exposed to head lice.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And
Of course, I would open my parents' mail and I would see that. Should have told us, not my parents.
There's a good wacky one right there.
Oh, which one?
Benin,
Oh, Benin. Yeah,
where they dream a lot about stairs.
stairs. Yeah, falling down the stairs.
That's
I guess.
fun.
Climbing them?
Yeah, they don't.
Or
Yeah, they
climbing
don't
'em.
specify.
Yeah, they just say snares.
At what point in the Industrial Revolution are they right now? They're dreaming about
Having
stairs.
goddamn MC Escher dreams. Never-ending stairs.
But by far the biggest thing that people dream about, snakes.
Snakes.
That's a thing. I don't know.
My dreams are way more boring.
That's
than
what I was
Yeah,
wondering.
mine are so banal and fucking.
Yeah, I keep reading this and I'm like, damn, I don't know if I've dreamed. Mine is my big one is the falling one, where you're falling and then as soon as you hit, you go and like wake up in real life. I get that
Do
one
you have-
occasionally.
most of my dreams are like, that could have just been Tuesday. Like it wasn't even that exciting.
not even
Or it's like I was at Ralph's. Like and then I wake up. I'm like, I guess I wasn't at Ralph's yesterday.
Mine are just like it's like I'm in a place. I'm like in my grandfather's house, and there's people I know now mixed with some people I knew. It's just like I'm stuck in my childhood. I think it's what it is.
Oh yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to dream a lot about nuclear war.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
fun.
that shit used to freak me out when I was a kid.
Out.
Apocalyptic shit used to scare the fuck out
Because
of me.
back then the doomsday sayers on TV, and it was even, it wasn't like today where there's so much information out there. So you would just like turn on like the 10 o'clock news. It's like, do you have a radioactive blah, blah, blah. It's like news at 11 or whatever. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like everything's, there's a nuclear thing going on. I don't know.
What country was blood under? One of them
Transylvania.
Romania.
Yeah, Romania, yeah.
Blood.
Transylvania's not a country.
Moldova is
we're
though.
off it.
I already pulled it off.
It's
Yeah.
actually a country. I had somebody recently come up to me. They're like, like that fictional place Moldova from the movies. I'm like, that's a place that people live, and they'd probably be pretty offended if you said it was a fictional place from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm pretty sure you'd be pretty offended by that.
Y'all, we have time for just one more segment, and of course it is time for our Jam of the Week. And I wanted to shout out our friend at Rod for short, Narado Moore.
But yeah,
suggested
not
this
to
one.
Rod, but to this song. Rod's a Jim.
So this is, of course, Puddle of Mudd, which somehow we've never done on this. I looked it up.
Damn, that's crazy.
Isn't that fucking nuts? And I think I know why. The genesis of the Jam of the Week / Jam of the Day segment happened simultaneously with the terrible Nirvana cover that came out of this, and I think I attempted to do it, and it was just all jokes.
Okay.
And so I held off, but now we've had enough time elapsed to where I think it's safe to cover this, but. I wanted to say, so this is "She Hates Me." Do you know this song?
Oh, of course I do.
Do you have experience with this this tune?
Somebody was alive in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is 2001. This is pre 9/11.
Wait, what?
This is there was a lot of comments of people being like, "Man, the 90s." I'm like, this is actually right before 9/11. This is what was on the radio at 9/11.
What?
Yeah.
We're listening to this in the plane.
Yeah. She is Al Qaeda in this situation. She fucking hates me, and me is America.
This really does sound. If you told me this was on like Kurt Loder was doing the MTV News right after this, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. Well, so you got tricked because the guy sounds kind of like Kurt Cobain, and it's sort of a ripoff. It's a total Nirvana ripoff, but he was discovered by Fred Durst.
He would also wear a fitted backwards
Fred
baseball
Durst
cap
with
too.
that ear.
Yeah.
The music.
Oh yeah. He was
Aaron Lewis. This guy. He's brought them all to the forefront.
Oh yeah.
Was Fred Durst also the person who discovered Alien Ant Farm?
Perhaps.
Probably. Yeah.
But something that I became aware of through reading these YouTube comments for this song is that this man who's singing this song, Wes Scanlon, has been arrested a bunch of times, like a crazy amount of time for a lot of strange crimes. So I just wanted to kind of just go through the greatest hits here. Okay. So investigation of domestic violence, March 10, 2002.
That's a pretty standard one if your song is "Free Fucking Hates Me."
September 24th, 2007, he was banned for life from Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee, for jumping in Elvis's pool.
So alcohol. Yeah.
Yep. So in 2011, he filed for divorce. Also, a few days later, he got the IRS brought the hammer down on him for non-payment of back taxes to the tune of $60,000. April 4th, 2012, charged with cocaine possession in Culver City, California, and also driving without a license. September 4th, and arrested for public intoxication on a airplane. So they actually had to land a plane because the lead singer of Puddle of Mudd was getting too rowdy. And he was 40 at the time, by the way. 2013, he's arrested for outstanding warrants. Also that same year, arrested for domestic abuse. 2013, arrested for vandalism with a chainsaw.
I thought he was a piece of shit until
I know. I was kind of.
I was gonna say, like, after all of this, like, he was asked for a comment, and you're like, they fucking hate me.
I was honestly just trying to blow through the wife beating to get to the chainsaw because that's funny. But yeah, so he apparently said that his neighbor vandalized some of his house, so he had to take action. So
it's like Michael Douglas in Falling Down.
Yes, yeah. Man, Wes Stanlin is not going to take it anymore.
I'm going to cut a wall off your house, motherfucker.
Where was this young man living?
In the Hollywood Hills. We're actually going to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
So
where every one-hit wonder has a play. Okay.
So he was sued by American Express for non-payment of debt. He had a meltdown on stage in Dallas where he threw the microphone and a beer into the crowd. And also that was when fans noticed that he had been lip syncing. So he threw the microphone into the crowd and still going through the speakers. She fucking hates me. Like, it's still going on. Arrested at Denver International Airport for taking a joyride on the baggage carousel. Now he's well into his 40s.
Everyone's always wanted to do that.
I suppose.
I feel like this guy lived in the BoJack Horseman house.
During a performance in Scottsdale, Arizona, he smashed his guitar and his ear headphones and part of the drummer's kit. So 2015, he's arrested and charged with disorderly conduct.
From breaking his own band's shit?
Well, no, this is a different one.
Okay.
So...
Because that's just rock and roll.
Yeah. So he got...
By the way, VH1 behind the music. They go to Sam right there. They got the whole little thing right there.
That's
and he's
just
like,
rock and roll.
This man's been persecuted for rock and roll.
2015, he's booed off stage, and the band has to delete their Facebook account after a show in Versailles, Ohio.
Damn, Versailles took him down. That's bad.
2015, arrested and charged with DUI in Minnesota.
Damn, I can't believe we're only in 2015.
Oh, yeah.
wait.
Arrested for DUI in South Dakota in 2015. Arrested for possession of controlled substance at the end of 2015. Arrested for vandalizing property. So this time, he got arrested because he got his house foreclosed on, and he tried to kick his own door back in to get his shit. And that happened up on...
But you can see him this year at the San Bernardino County Fair.
Any chili cook-off.
Oh, he's selling NFTs and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
During a gig in Marietta, Ohio, he accused a fan of stealing his home, and then he left the stage, and he said there would be no
Stealing his
encore.
home?
Yeah, so
that's a fucked up thing to do.
Is it a
to somebody.
mobile home? Like, how does this work?
he had a standoff with the LAPD in his driveway for 2 hours and 30 minutes. And then 2016, the band actually left him on stage this time. So I like that.
Solo act. Did he play this song unaccompanied by the band?
Unbelievable.
But yeah, anyways, that's arrested for skipping a court date in 2016, and then the coup de grace in 2016.
Well, who hasn't skipped a court date?
Right.
So in 2016, he built a fake bomb to deter car thieves. So in West Hollywood, he built a fake bomb, and that caused the entire neighborhood to get evacuated.
What did he just write? Bomb on a piece of PVC pipe or something?
Yeah, I think he had supposedly he had a bunch of like wires going into the gas tank or something, and then some device that like looked like a bomb, I guess, to stop people from stealing shit out of his car. But it's just but it caused his neighbors just walking their dog on a Sunday to be like, oh, that looks like a bomb. So yeah,
Because he would leave the car door open. He would lock it.
But yeah, all of that is, of course, preamble to understanding the mind and heart of Wes Scanlon. Apparently, he's kind of cleaned up his act
How
recently.
does Fred feel about all this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. He's got that Owen Wilson hair. He's got his cool shades. I don't think he probably don't care one way or the other. So
I'd be disappointed.
so with all
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Daddy Durst.
So with all that in mind, now we go down into the comment section of YouTube for Puddle of Mudd's She Fucking Hates Me. First up, Sal Massa from 9 days ago. Okay, you fat dinks, the sun is up and we're about to close it down with one last song. She Hates Me by Puddle of Mudd and Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer playing at the same time.
You fat dicks. What?
Is that a DJ doing text?
That's what I think is this is a guy at a bar who, in order to get people to leave the bar when the sun is coming up, he plays Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer and She Fucking Hates Me at the same time, is what I've gathered from this.
Amazing.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That could be considered noise pollution.
Yeah. Well, and he calls them dinks, not dicks. So, like,
You fat dinks.
double income, no kids? Okay. So, Ellum 117 from 11 months ago. Back when woman wanted to be sexy and men wanted to be a man. Fucking born in the wrong generation, bunch of pansies.
Who?
Okay.
All right.
Just
The band? Him?
anyone.
Just anyone?
Just
What
anyone
does that have
who,
to do with the band?
anyone who may be reading this. So
Born in the wrong generation, you dink.
you stupid dinks.
That's a drunk one.
This section I'm calling School Days. First up, Darnell Williamson, 12 years ago. I like to dedicate this song to high school. Fuck you.
Well, you know what? Considering the fact that he did get expelled from that high school, they felt the same.
Tatiana Velasco from 5 months ago. This song when my ex-boyfriend cheated on me in high school, senior grade, and I just flipped him the bird 20 times. So sad for breaking up with my ex-boyfriend in 2017. So I love just 1.
How far down
2.
before you get to like
3.
9/11 is an inside job?
If you,
Because that's like on
they're on
every YouTube post.
Oh yeah. We
We could be like a DIY on like how to like put a duvet cover together. And it's like this is wonderful. Like I've been using this tactic for like the last 6 months or whatever. Like oh my god, I have to show this to my grandmother. 9/11 was an inside job. It's like what? For more information, www.
InfoWars.
this duvet cover's nice, but you know it's even nicer the cover up the government did.
Real nice. Pulled the wool right over our eyes.
Nate Dogg from 8 years ago.
The Nate Dogg?
No, this is
Smoke
DAWG.
weed every day. That Nate Dogg?
This is DAWG.
Oh, that's right,
Nate Dogg
'cause
is
he was
DOGG.
DOGG.
Yeah.
Right.
Nate Dogg 8 years ago. It might be the beer talking, but while watching / listening to this song, I have the sudden urge to punch something.
Oh no.
Oh wait, it was that one bitch that played me in high school years ago. I still want to punch something. Hello, wall. Okay.
Also, I have hoes in different area codes.
Scary.
Stream of consciousness.
Stream of consciousness rant.
I'm mad about high school. I never
I
got
love-
pussy again.
I love these people who write YouTube comments like they're having a conversation.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, YouTube.
Oh, that's
a lot
those are
of
the
them.
words. The people that's not even connected to the song at all, where it just goes off in this fucking rant about nothing.
This guy, Trey Hill from 10 years ago. I sang this in school and I got kicked out. So fucking funny. Thumbs up if you like singing in this song.
Hell yeah. I thumbs up that.
This one, Yibby Bibby from 2 weeks ago.
Oh, this is my account.
I'm sending this to my soon-to-be ex-wife on the day the papers are signed.
I saw one once on YouTube where it was like it was for a music video, and then it was like in Google Translate because it was like this long thing, and then Google Translate just wrote, "I'm a very unhappy listener." I'm like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't the direct translation.
Close enough.
Western Wanderer from 1 year ago. Haven't heard this song in a while. I think we all have had that one that makes us crazy. You finally one day come to the realization that you are being played, and then you spaz the fuck out, and you don't care who sees it. Yeah, Stacy, I'm talking about you. I haven't forgiven the crap you did.
This is drunken, abusive ex-boyfriend.
These are just scary,
It's
scary
good
people.
This
By the way,
exists, so they're not texting.
If you
or
were doing any
calling.
sort of
correct.
investigation You don't need to hire a private detective. Just go to the YouTube comment section.
Oh, yeah.
And be like,
Absolutely.
yeah, the guy's guilty. I don't know what to tell you.
He admitted to the murder on YouTube. No one saw it.
We solved 7 crimes on YouTube.
Robert Fisher from 1 month ago. My ex-wife deleted my Facebook account. She's been in control of my Apple ID for nearly a year. Probably cost me $50,000 last year. I walked the walk. Just no more to say. Done, baby. Done.
Told her.
Told her off.
Despite the fact she has your face. Your Apple ID?
Apparently,
She has your entire identity.
apparently, yeah, you could get $50,000 with just a person's Apple ID. I didn't know that was the thing. Unknown legend from 4 months ago. One time, this song started playing in an IHOP, and about a minute into the song, they realized what was playing, and they ran to the radio to change it like it was a nuclear bomb about to go off. LOL.
Take that, IHOP.
Man, we almost changed the world that night in IHOP.
That is the hippest IHOP.
Yeah. They immediately put on Pavement or something.
Got a couple more here. Pingly My Jingly from 5 months ago.
This goes out to my rotten ex-wife. Yeah.
Oh, no, I love this one. I hung out with immature popular kids who were my friends, but now they seem kind of So I'm being friend with unpopular kids or just the good ones because I make friends easy. But if I stayed with those kids, which I do sometimes, this would fucking be me. It probably still is because, hey, I'm 13. Let's be honest. I go through this plenty of times. Also, I'm a fucking dumbass.
That is not a 13-year-old.
I don't know.
This could rule.
Oh, no, that right there, that is a kid who we should make sure never buys a trench coat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was a lot of...
Don't let him buy a trench
Yeah, a
coat.
lot of fellas going their own way in this one here. This is my favorite. So we actually got some stories about the aforementioned Wes Scanlon. So Vexor from 10 months ago. I saw these guys in 2003 on a rainy Memorial Day weekend festival. The pit was a giant mud puddle. Mud was flying through the air, topless chicks were wrestling, and all while these guys were jamming on stage, no one left that concert clean, physically or spiritually. It turned up my soul, bro.
We bury our sins in the river.
I love how immature he is that he just had to point out that he saw titties.
Yeah.
Just like, dude, it was awesome. There was fucking titties there.
To be fair, when you're 11,
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
I mean, yeah.
In Warburley the first 7 years ago. It literally says in.
Wait, the first?
Yeah,
That's just his name. Like the first.
Norburley.
And there will never be a second or junior. So.
We don't know that. We do not know that.
So this is from 7 years ago. I work in a popular bar. Earlier this week, a once popular band played down the street. A certain singer of a once popular band walked in right before we were closing. There was speculation from certain people that other certain people, he was cranked out. I had just locked the back door as per company standard. Dude drank some whiskey and then demanded I let him out through the back door. Being that this was against policy and blah, 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 I said no. He got right in my face and said, I am a rock star. Unlock the door and then get the fuck out of my way.
Wow.
I just smiled in his face and said nothing. My boss came up, yelled at him, and demanded he apologize. He yelled at her and then threatened to get his manager. I get maybe he's talking about the bar manager.
I thought it was Wes Scanlon going to go get Fred Durst.
Yeah. They had a short and quiet yet seemingly heated discussion, and then he scoffed and gave me a very begrudging apology, to which I just continued smiling in his face. He stormed out. The best part is I had no fucking idea who he was until after he left, and my boss told me. I thought he was just some local scene asshole throwing around fake cloud, but no, he was some washed up asshole from a shitting band throwing out fake clouds.
People don't know him as Wes Scanlon. They don't know him as the Puddle of Mudd singer. They know him as the She Fucking Hates Me guy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
And Blurry. Don't forget Blurry.
Oh, yeah. Can you take it all away? That song,
Turns out you can take it all away from him. You absolutely can take it all away.
Can you build a fake bomb? Install it on your car.
Can you leave my car alone?
Can you close down Laurel Canyon for the afternoon? So this one says, Kevin Mason from 4 months ago. Wes, I'm the dude that yelled at you in the middle of your concert at Glencoe Camp Resort in Sturgis. No way. I was so excited you were going to be there, and then you messed up. Pull your shit together.
Wait, was this the show in the midst of COVID?
This was the COVID
Everyone was
super
definitely not
spreader.
supposed to be doing that. The super spreader event, yeah.
It had to be. He says, come back to Glencoe. I will get up there with you, and let's put on a show they won't forget. So this guy's like, dude, you sucked at COVID Sturgis, but, you know.
I'm the guy who told you fucking suck when you were on stage. I was hoping you could come back and we could get a duo thing together.
Maybe hash it out.
Nothing convinces me more to do something than when someone berates me.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then online also.
And finally, Andrew Pennypacker from 6 years ago. I've always liked Puddle of Mudd until now. Having loved their music, I went to see them at Ohio Bike Week in 2015. Wes Scanlon, the lead singer, was all ducked up. I guess that's how we all were, although nobody was there to see me. Okay, fine. I was in the front row. They played 3 songs. We were rocking, and then the truth came out. He screwed up. He's standing there away from the mic, hanging over the crowd at the front of the stage. The next verse comes over the speakers. He's singing the song being played, but he realizes then, runs back to the mic like nothing is wrong. So this guy was here for the lip syncing incident.
He probably was lip syncing at like every show.
I'm sure he was. I'm
Yeah.
sure he was. But this is Ohio Bike Week, so this is like
Now, I understand lip syncing if you're
dancing around.
Yes, if you're if you're somebody who does a lot of choreography, it's very difficult from a physical standpoint. Like
Right.
if, you know when like if you're Britney Spears doing her Vegas residency or anything like that, like I could understand that.
Right.
But this dude's just standing there. Like there's no reason for this guy
Right.
to lip sync.
Here's my theory. If you were to try to do an impression of a singing voice, you would blow your throat out.
Oh yeah,
The way
yeah.
he sounds, I imagine I imagine he can't even keep that
So
up on a nightly
he can only do
basis.
the studio recording, and then he just has to go out and
Probably
just lip
so.
sync.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to do his voice because I know it's going to fuck up my throat.
And a girl thought she was great. Like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
that.
Well, no, it just sounds like the people like who come to comedy in English who are from another country and they try to do a Kurt Cobain impression. Like that's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just from an accent standpoint, it's very difficult.
This is my favorite. The last part, he says, I stayed to watch 2 more songs. It was so evident that he was not singing. It only got worse. You know, at $35 a ticket, I'd have rather seen Milli Vanilli.
Then you get some dancing.
$35.
Yeah. And you know who does a shitload of choreography? Fucking Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
Everyone I was around and myself felt cheated. Puddle of Mudd, puddle of shit. Fuck you, puddle of shit. What a great first impression for old faithfuls and our youth that we as parents turn them on to you. Never will a dime come from my pocket to your music again. Fakes. Never go
will
see
my money fuel your music.
Again.
Yeah, you have betrayed me.
Better off watching YouTube videos of them. Pretty much the same.
That was the first thing that everyone said when they found out that band's name was Puddle of Mudd. Like, puddle of shit. Like, he thought he was the first person that thought of puddle of shit.
Here's the thing, though. Like, and as artists in general, just like no matter how bad things are going in our lives, we still have this incessant need to keep performing.
Sure.
Regardless, this guy never was like, you know what? Maybe I should just take a step back for a bit.
Yeah. And that is Puddle of Shit. Puddle of Mudd with our jam of the week. She fucking hates
I
me.
think the thing about that is meth and cocaine are expensive.
Yes.
So it'd be hard to take some time off.
That's true.
Without being also railed out of your mind. constantly.
Yeah.
What kind of door deal is he getting on that $35?
I hope it's pretty good. I hope it's pretty good.
Michael, please tell people where they can find you and your podcast on the internet.
You can find me at michaelmagidcomedy.com. That's where all my socials are, at Michael Magid on all social medias. If you want to check out the podcast, at Goalkeeper Podcast, at ProGK Academy _ because ProGK Academy was taken. So _ right there, that little line right there.
The little line,
That
you know?
little line
Yeah.
right there. And check out Comedy in English, guys, every Tuesday and Saturday live at 8:30 p.m. at HI Santa Monica with a bunch of internationals in the crowd that become the show a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we have a virtual show that we do every Sunday at 12 noon Pacific, 8 p.m. GMT, if you're listening at this in
Oh,
Europe. Yeah.
yes.
We moved it to Sundays, except for this is the last Thursday is this week whenever whenever, I don't know when this recording's coming out, but this week that we're recording is right before Easter. So we're doing, this is the last Thursday because Sunday's Easter. And then we're moving on to the 24th will be our first Sunday with Judah Friedlander and Mike Kaplan.
Oh, shit.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking A, man.
Yeah.
That's great. Sam, where can people find you online?
Slam Harder on Twitter, slam.harder on Instagram. I have a show on April 28th at Clubhouse at 8 p.m.
The Clubhouse is back.
It's back.
Clubhouse
All right.
is back.
And
It's back.
better than ever.
better
It's
than ever.
Exactly the same. It still smells bad.
but parking everywhere.
Yeah.
Lots of free parking.
Lots of free parking at any Clubhouse show you go to,
Mm-hmm.
although it might take 20 minutes to get inside with that buzzer. So.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's across the street from the Fat Burger. So,
Oh, there you
know,
go.
There you go.
The show,
And
have
there's
fun,
a
have fun at the show and then get one of them double XLs.
Yeah, honestly, I have a lot of fun at the Clubhouse. If you ever go to a show at the Clubhouse, for anybody who's listening right now, it's a great experience. Very supportive, great energy there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Absolutely.
That would be great. Carter, where can people find you online?
You can find me at Carter_Glasscock on Twitter and Instagram.
Hell yeah. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley, and you can come see me hosting a show and then doing a bunch of stand-up dates down south coming up at the end of this month in the beginning of May. April 23rd and 24th, I'll be hosting the old 280 Boogie in downtown Waverly, Alabama. On April 26th, I'm going to be at Coffee Cat in Auburn, Alabama with our friend so far on the lineup, Narado Moore, Chris Davis, Birmingham's Titans of Comedy, and then from Atlanta, we've got Dave Perdue and also Nathan Owen. So, and we're going to add a couple more to that lineup. So yeah, Coffee Cat, that's a free show, starts at 8 p.m. in Auburn. $10 Comedy, April 30th at ASW Whiskey Exchange in Atlanta. That show's at 7:30. Tickets available at the number one upcomedy.com. That is obviously a $10 show. And then this is brand new, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. You can see me at the historic Grant's Lounge, my first time ever in Macon, Georgia. And Grant's Lounge is where the fucking Allman Brothers started.
It's like,
Oh, wow.
That
Yeah,
was where
yeah.
they used to play gigs when they were like dirty teenagers and shit. And,
Sure.
and like,
I thought you were about to say, and this just added Cinco de Mayo, I will be opening for Puddle of Mudd.
yeah.
I think the best way to celebrate Cinco de Mayo is watching a Rivers Langley comedy set.
I mean, I can't think of anything better. That show's going to start at 8, so you'll have plenty of time
Bring
afterwards
the
to
tequila.
Yeah, that's right. May 6th, awesome comedy hour at Liquor Express in Huntsville. That's a free show, starts at 8. May 7th, Joker's Abbey at Smokers Abbey in East Nashville, Tennessee, 604 Gallatin Avenue. Free show starts at 10 p.m. Check out me and friend of the show, Ben Sawyer, the doctor. So yeah.
I just feel so lazy. I have other shows, guys. I just I didn't know. Like, you got a tour going on. This is awesome.
It's
amazing.
it's a little one. But yeah, come see me in Georgia and Alabama and
fantastic.
Tennessee. And you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/thegoodspod. We are on Twitter at The Goods Pod, every episode ever, and a shitload of clips at youtube.com/thegoodspod. Best way to support the show, head over to patreon.com/thegoodspod. And second best way to support the show is to head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, we will make you work at the villages.
For no money, for high school credits.
The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.